The American dream basically is not really attainable for the average Americans. I can only imagine that it's not going to be easily attainable for those who have come through the concept of immigration. I would generally believe that, specifically if you're not coming in the correct way. Right? What I mean by that is if you are coming in the correct way to the United States of America, it's very expensive. So it only tells me specifically that if you can afford the immigration process and hiring the lawyers, et cetera, meeting the minimum requirement for income, then you can basically you can survive here. To be honest, you can survive. But if you have come into this country, through the illegal route, let's say, it is nearly impossible for you to thrive. I'm just gonna be honest here. It's nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible. Not the American dream that you saw in Hollywood. Not really. Right. So what I'm saying all of this to basically say here, I understand why some people are self-deporting themselves. Specifically, I understand it. You've come to this country, you realize that the American dream is not exactly what you thought it was. You may miss your family. You see what's happening right now. And if you do take the voluntary deportation thing, right, you can actually return back to the United States of America by self-deporting. But if you wait for the federal government to basically catch you here, then yeah, that's not going to happen, bro. Right? It just won't happen. But if you just go yourself, you can come back, right? And most likely, this is what people are doing here. They're planning on basically leaving while Trump is in office and coming back when Trump's not in office. Basically, is what it sounds like when the more and further I read kind of into the overall topic here. But CBP reports that thousands of migrants have self-deported. This is working. This is a suggestion via Discord. Let's go ahead and jump into this video immediately, guys.
Right. President Trump's Department of Homeland Security has been urging illegal aliens to self-deport using the CBP Home app. Remember, that's the opposite of Biden's CB1 app. He said, come here, and Trump's saying, go home. Or they can face the consequences of being here illegally and be deported by force. Right. This flyer aimed at illegal residents, well, that's kind of an oxymoron. Illegal alien shares how self-deporting is safe. Illegals can even pick their own flights out of the country. It also warns about new penalties and steep fines if they do not comply.
Let me go ahead and read this for a second here. Self-deportation is safe. You keep the money that you earn in the United States of America if you self-deport, future opportunities for legal immigration, okay, and possible flights home. You may be eligible for a subsidized flight if you cannot afford to leave. The consequences: immediate deportation. You'll be apprehended. You'll be fined $998 per day. I can't really read what's behind that. That's the title there. But whoa. Okay, I don't know how you're going to get the money back from the people that I don't know how that's a thing, but either way.
And it appears the administration's effort is working. New CBP Home data shared with Fox News shows more than 5,000 illegal aliens have used this app to voluntarily exit America.
Okay.
Paul.
So obviously this is good news. 5,000 is a beginning, but we have an enormous problem of just numbers here, right? The prior administration let in 10 to 20 million unvetted migrants. And as everybody here who wants to stay, who resists this and wants their due process, et cetera, the ugly truth is we can't handle it. The system is not sort of comprised to be able to handle 10 to 20 new applicants thrown into the federal system.
So what would the answer be?
Everything would stop.
If it's not this,
this is about the best answer that I can see, because we have to make sure as they go, we get your biometrics so that we really know who you are. Because the problem is that we have 10 to 20 million people unvetted. We don't know who they are. We don't even know if the names are real.
That was the point.
Exactly. So they knew what they were doing.
That way they can vote. They can do a whole lot of things.
That's
Democrats, right. That was the whole point.
So people who are willing to leave, and we get your biometrics, so we do know who you are, then of course they should get a play in getting back in, because we need everything we can get, because the system is not devised to handle it.
Right. And specifically with us basically defunding a good amount of the United States of America federal government, of course we can afford to basically handle this. But to be honest, I can't think of a country that actually could, regardless of if we remove people from specifically doing these things. I can't think of a single country that actually could maintain 10 to 20 million people being thrown into the database. Guys.
Look, you've got to start somewhere. Right? And where we've started is pretty much a closed border. I mean, what trickles across the border now is such a small number. It gives you a chance to kind of catch up on those. But you know what we really need? We need some judges in this country who really actually want to be in the game of getting rid of the worst of the worst.
Yeah, and obviously we're failing on that score. But you know what I take away from this story, and we're just starting to get this, right? This is new information that we're just evaluating right now, is that these people who are here illegally, they're not stupid. This is a better deal. Going home, having the government pay your airfare, and staying here, and possibly having to spend time in jail and being taken away.
Yeah.
You get to take whatever money you've made while you've been here. You can take that with you. It's a better deal going home than staying here.
Well, not only that, you can come back depending on how you do it.
Right.
I mean, that's what President Trump said, that it's a door that can open both ways, but you have to go one way first and then get in line behind all those people who've intended to do it correctly. But you can come back. Leslie.
Well, there are a couple of things. California, where I live, largest illegal documented population in the United States, largest population in the United States. The immigration lawyers that I've spoken to, I asked what's going on and why is the number 5,000? Some would say that's a good number, but to Paul's point, it's a low number when you're looking at over 11 million plus people. A few things. Democrat or Republican, the majority of Americans want the criminals out. The criminals aren't going to this app, okay? 1. 2, tracking. Is the information accurate, and can you track these individuals? 3, a lot of people are very afraid to put this information in because they're afraid of people who are here legally in their families that they were living with, some kind of retaliation. They have a lack of trust of our government, and their employers, some of them, at least in agriculture and construction, they're not wanting them to do this because they need the workload. In California, we need the construction workers. We need every hand because we've lost over 17,000 homes like mine and other families that were, destroyed in the fire. But you can't track necessarily whether these people have left, and if they've been here more than 10 years, it's years to get back. So a lot of them are.
In your state, you also turned on one heck of a magnet by pilfering and stealing from Medicaid to pay for some of these people. I mean, that's what your governor has been doing to the tune of billions of dollars. So they also don't want to go because that magnet has been turned on. They're glued to your state. Emily.
Yes. Sorry, did you want to respond to that? I don't know.
No, I would say one of the problems that we have, at least on my side of the aisle, is that you don't have the corporations dangling the carrot of opportunity to people to come from other countries to work in their fields or on their construction sites.
Yeah. Okay. They don't have to.
Yeah, they don't. Your state's doing it for them.
Well, why? You shouldn't be punished if you employ somebody who comes here.
There's a lot of jobs and a lot of demand. The question is, how do you want to save that demand? And do you want to do it legally?
As we talk about the system, I wanted to bring up the system of the cartels, where they traffic in human smuggling. That's the second largest global illicit industry. And we know, we've talked about this, when you try to take $1 away from any type of organized criminal enterprise, believe me, they will fight for it.
Absolutely.
So now coyotes are being paid by these illegal immigrants to take them back over the border. You sort of dovetail that in with the ongoing conversation about President Trump's work with the Mexican president. And we're talking about drones, and we're talking about attacking the cartels head on. The point is that regardless if our borders are tightened, the cartels are finding ways to ensure the human smuggling business stays thriving to the detriment of those illegal immigrants. It is in their best interest, too, to have this buttoned up.
It's going exactly how Mayorkas planned it. We're overwhelmed, and this is the way it was supposed to go. And
we're very fair.
Around here for solutions, but there's a reason there's no good solution.
Yeah, he didn't strike me as a guy who could plan this entire thing, though.
Somebody did, and it wasn't the top guy.
In that administration, definitely.
Okay, guys, that's it. All right, so a couple of things I want to point out here. A couple of them kind of agreed that we need some more judges, right? I do definitely think we need more judges, specifically in the immigration courts. I think that's just a reality, but we also need judges that have the ability to pretty much discern let's say what is asylum and what is not asylum. It's pretty cut and dry what asylum actually is, but for some reason, a lot of these judges are just saying, you know what? They come from a country that is extremely poor. They've had a rough life. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. I'm just coming to a conclusion in my head here. Please, this is my opinion. Right? It seems like they're just coming up and saying, listen, they're coming from this country where there was a lot of things going on. We're so happy that they have escaped, and we now need to take care of them. Bro, asylum is legitimately asylum. These are refugees. They're being persecuted by their government. They're being targeted specifically, but I'm not sure that matters anymore. or mattered anymore, at least under Biden, guys, right? But now when it comes to like this H-1B visa program, specifically when it comes to giving immigrants visas, like temporary visas to basically come here and work, I seriously think that's a good idea. I think that the H-1B visa should be used in many, let's say, genres of organizations, let's say, not just specifically agriculture. That definitely would help because Americans just don't want to do the job. And we know this because of the amount of tests that were basically done with the public here, guys. Right? So we know that regardless of what you pay the Americans, on average, large scale, they're not going to want to go into the fields. You can pay them what you want to pay. They just don't want to go into the fields, large scale at least. I think the masses of America basically have moved on from this type of work, guys. But now, when it comes to like tech and like high rated tech jobs, let's say, I do think that we need the H-1B visa, bro. I'm sorry. I don't think our population is intelligent enough anymore, bro. Okay, we can definitely blame this on the Department of Education, blame this, on Gen Z and social media and TikTok and things like that, brain rot content. We can blame a lot of things, guys, right? But until we fix these specific things and fix the Gen Z generation, let's say, that will be taking over things eventually, until we fix that, I'm not sure there's any hope, bro. So we do need some of the best and brightest from around the world to basically come into the United States of America and work in some of these corporations and tech field type of jobs for us until we can actually educate our population. Again, even Trump recognized this when he basically deleted the Department of Education. We are in the top 20, but we're 20 in terms of education, guys. We have a problem. All right, we have a problem. So until then, and I'm not the only one who said this, I think Vivek Ramaswamy said this also. Elon Musk has also stated this, that this is a thing that needs to actually exist. The H-1B visa is like the thing that we need for right now, until we can actually educate our population to the point where we are actually competitive in terms of our intelligence and education internationally, guys. Right? But either way, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.